Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for March 4, 2022, the Ericsson in Trouble edition. And we begin with that story as Ericsson has been accused by the Department of Justice of violating the terms of its deferred prosecution agreement. The Department of, the DOJ notified Ericsson that the firm had failed to hand over details of alleged corruption in Iraq. The admission comes after it was revealed Ericsson may have channeled money to the Islamic State terrorists and made suspicious payments totaling millions of dollars to sustain its business in Iraq between 2011 and 2019. The announcement comes as Ericsson continues to contain a growing controversy over its alleged misconduct. It's the second time Ericsson's been found to have broken its agreement with the Department of Justice, and you can only imagine what the DOJ may well do. Next up from the New York Times, Ex-Nissan executive Greg Kelly gets a suspended sentence in the Carlos Ghosn case. A little more after 2 years after Ghosn fled Japan to escape criminal charges, a Japanese court on Thursday convicted his former American deputy of helping him conceal part of his compensation from regulators. The judge sentenced the deputy to 6 months in jail for his role in hiding Ghosn's pay during one fiscal year, but cleared him of involvement in similar efforts during other periods spanning almost a decade. The sentence will be suspended for 3 years, effectively allowing Kelly to walk free. The verdict is effectively a rejection of much of the government's case, and it's likely to be the last in Japan's year-long legal battle against Ghosn. Next up from Reuters, California employers are perverting an arbitration law, according to plaintiffs in front of a Supreme Court. They claim that employers are misusing the Federal Arbitration Act as a tool to eliminate representative actions to police California labor code violations as allowed under California's Private Attorney General Act. This could have unintended consequences in litigation, ranging from false claims acts, quitum suits, to shareholder litigation. The claim is that companies are removing these to arbitration when they were clearly never intended to be in arbitration, nor was an arbitration intended to cover them. And finally, the crypto industry says it's complying with Russia sanctions. Congress is not so sure. This could be a big problem because it's clear to me, at least, that Russia is going to move to crypto as an answer to the sanctions against the U.S. banks. So unless crypto's on board, I think we're going to have some big gaping holes in the sanction, and Russia may turn to crypto in a way that no other country has done so as yet. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.